Some well-paid professionals are helping with a creative new effort to fight hunger. A startup redirects so-called per diem allowances that some employees get to cover daily meals and expenses while on the road. Those payments can add up for professional athletes, corporate employees, and actors. The effort two young women have made has caught the eye of one Major League All-Star. New York Mets outfielder Curtis Granderson's played 12 years in the big leagues. He's been to 3 All-Star games and 2 World Series. But the early days in minor league baseball, not quite as glamorous.
I had teammates that would pack loaves of bread, peanut butter, and jelly for our long bus rides because they knew they weren't going to have enough money to make it on that road trip.
But once he hit the bigs...
I think my first year in Major League Baseball, when I was getting my first per diem check, and I realized this is all for me. And I said,
How much was that check?
Oh gosh, it was easily in the $700 range, you know, for about an 8 or 9 day portion. And next thing you know, I go, I can't eat this much money, you know? So
even you, Curtis, come on.
And I can eat, you know? I was finishing up at the end of the week with a sizable amount of money.
Granderson's talking about per diem money for travel expenses that each member of a Major League team's 25-man roster gets every day he's on the road. Right now, it's just over $100 a day. Many see it as money to burn. Granderson saw it as money to give.
When the idea was brought in, taking your per diem and helping out those in need to provide meals for them, it was a no-brainer.
Great to obviously see all of this. Cousins Brittany Hodak and Jennifer Barker are the women behind that idea of using per diem dollars to fight hunger. Brittany came up with the concept while looking for a place to donate her own unused per diem.
What I did find were all of these stats about food insecurity and hunger in America. I was waking up thinking about it, going to sleep thinking about it. It's, I think, the closest I've ever felt in my life to being driven by some sort of higher power to do something.
Per Diems Against Poverty was born. Anyone can give to the nonprofit, but Hodak and Barker seek out donations from a few groups in particular, like Hollywood actors and professional athletes, knowing their per diem dollars might be less needed.
Basically, we just started cold calling teams and, you know, letting them know what we were doing and finding out. It was overwhelmingly positive. Honestly, anytime I would talk to someone in communications, they were like, wow, this is really different. I've never heard of anyone doing something like this. I think I have a lot of players who would be interested.
So this is Food Bank for New York City.
100% of the money donated to Per Diems Against Poverty is reallocated to Feeding America, the nation's largest food bank network. This New York City food bank gets a portion of Granderson's $10,000 donation.
I thought, what a simple yet impactful strategy. I mean, when we're dealing with 1.5 million New Yorkers who look to us, who depend on us for food and support and other services, and you think about someone contributing that amount of money, it's a big deal.
With Curtis, it was, can I overnight a check? Do you have any information? Can I start telling my friends? How do I get my teammates involved?
From his donation of $10,000 for this one season, it's going to provide approximately 110,000 meals for Americans in those cities, which, yeah, is a huge impact just from one player.
At spring training, Curtis Granderson's popularity among fans was overwhelming. But it's his generosity that may inspire that type of support for his newest teammates.
The awesome thing is I haven't had to reach out to people. People have come to me asking me about this, which is great.
Do you think this is something that's going to catch on in baseball and maybe even beyond in other sports?
I definitely think it has the possibility of catching on in the other sports. I don't know where their per diem checks are, but I do know what their salary checks are. And it's very minimal work, but the reward is still very huge.
You know, they're just getting started with this, so they have 11 baseball players signed up, but that's going to be over 1 million meals by the end of the year. Wow. The goal is 100 Major League players by the end of this season, which is their first, and then to get 100 more athletes from across the sports to get involved as well. It's word of mouth. If you know you can do it, if they make it easy, which they're doing, that's their hope.
And Curtis is so right. So many of these guys get these per diem checks, they don't even use them. They're just sitting around somewhere.
Exactly.
He didn't forget, and neither did Brittany and her cousin, Jennifer.
Yeah, great work by them.
Yeah, really nice.